my genetic inheritance is so low that even if I had the same desire that LeBron James had, I would never be as good as he is genetically.
What do you think is missing, in your opinion, in the young people today?
Young people today are and have grown up in a social silo.
I came to this country when I was 16 years old with zero in my pocket. And from there, I worked myself up. I knew what I wanted. You have to have a vision. And you need to have fire in the belly. Today, welcome everybody to my podcast, Next Level. Today we have Mr. David Meltzer. David, I'm very impressed with your resume. You work beautiful. You're really, next level.
The first and most important thing is I'm on a mission to empower over 1 billion people with a capability that I've been blessed with, which is to help people make a lot of money, to live in abundance, to help a lot of people, and to have a lot of fun. And so my entire portfolio of work, whether it be TV shows, movies, podcasts, digital shows, coaching, speaking, variety of investments and other things, it's all to build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. And value is, for me, the center point, the central focus of teaching people on how to give more of what people like, what works, what doesn't work, what they know, and take away what they don't like or what they doesn't work, and then give them more of what they know. And so I've written tons of books. I speak around the world. I have a huge community of people from the shows that I do and the coaching and Free Friday trainings. And I'm the chairman of Napoleon Hill Institute, the chancellor of Junior Achievement, and chairman of Unstoppable Foundation. Everything I do has a charitable purpose or a cause. And I try to teach people to think about for the sake of what, not I'll be happy when.
And I understand your life mission is to empower at least over 1 billion.
Over 1 billion people.
That's a big number. You know what? Wow.
Well, you look, it's exponential in its nature. It's finding 1,000 people like you that will empower 1,000 to empower 1,000. So I'm looking to utilize these types of relationships with you that I know you're an influential, empowering person, that in your lifetime, you'll empower 1,000 people to empower 1,000 people, all with this common denominator of wanting to be kind and to do good deeds.
Right. And you've been doing a lot of training for the last 20 years to empower others. But do you travel around the country?
Around the world. So I travel 200 days a year. Every city I go to, I do a meetup, a free meetup where we bring people together to ask questions, to make introductions. I do on average about 12 interviews a day. So either giving or receiving interviews. And, I'm, very active in what I do and live in a very harmonious way, utilizing time and relativity as a student of both in order to be productive, accessible, and gracious.
I understand that you did something with Jerry Maguire, my favorite movie.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I was the CEO of Lee Steinberg Sports Entertainment. They made the movie Jerry Maguire about our sports agency. Cameron Crowe followed us around for almost 2 years. And what makes that movie so significant is most people think it's their favorite sports film, but it's not a sports film. It's analogous to how I use sports even today. It's a love story with a sports backdrop. And that's the way sports should be used today. Sports is a backdrop to business, real estate. It's marketing, medicine. Everything is involved in sports. And if you can see it as a backdrop, not as an industry, we can focus in on the skills, knowledge, and desire that it takes to be successful.
Right. So what's next for you?
For me, on my mission, my legacy is built off of Napoleon Hill Institute. If you've read Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, it's one of the most impactful books for spirituality and business. And so as chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute, I'm building this community to teach people that what they believe they can achieve, but not just in theoretical, but actually give the pragmatic frameworks and practices in order to effectuate the values and the execution on those daily behaviors that Napoleon Hill has been teaching since the 1930s, and over 500 million books sold. Uh, my mission of empowering over 1 billion people is closely tied to the Napoleon Hill Institute, to junior achievement. We have over 100 million alumni with junior achievement, and as chief chancellor to make sure that entrepreneurs 15 to 25 are prepared and empowered to save the world. And then, of course, on the Unstoppable Foundation, being able to specifically support women around the world for the incongruencies and the inequity of opportunity that exists for women.
What do you think it's missing, in your opinion, in the young people today, the young generation?
Appreciation of differences. I think young people today are and have grown up in a social silo. And so they lack the appreciation of differences. They instead, when they see differences, automatically get into a separation, not a unification. Where when we grew up, whether it be politics or religion, philosophies or strategies, when we had differing opinions, our first step or our perspective was, how can I appreciate, add value to the differences in what we believe in, not judgment, condition, and separation that are created by social silos in this illusionary reality that these kids, unfortunately, are subjected to.
But I feel like today's young generation, it's all about what you can do for me. They don't want to work. They don't want to show up. The government can take care of them, maybe. Okay, for that matter. And you see what happened. You see that there is a rise of lazy. Not everybody. Not everybody. Okay, you have a lot of people, and people. It's not. I don't understand lazy, but the sort of entitlement. Okay, and why should I get up to work? Why should I? I want to be a star.
Things became easy, right? Number one, most of the kids today, in you know, whether you're born now or up until probably about 30 to 32, have never experienced hard times. We've been in an economic gain, and we've had things, as technology has made things so easy. I remember when Easy was using a calling card that had 20 numbers to make a long distance phone call. I remember Easy was because I would use an ATM, a bank machine, instead of having to stand in line at a bank for 2 hours to cash my paycheck. I remember Easy, was the ability to drive a car, not to have an autonomous vehicle. Or Easy was to be able to go to Walmart and find something, or Best Buy to shop for, and only take up 3 hours to hopefully find what I need, not just click on what I need and have it to my door the same day. We have, in some resorts, because of the Easy, we've unfortunately taken away the capability to deal with this Easy. I always tell kids, hey, don't waste the struggle. Dave Meltzer is Dave Meltzer because of the struggle, not because of the easy. Right. That had nothing to do with who I am today. I am who I am because of the struggle. And that's what gave me the desire that I must be what I can be, which is the desire of all successful people, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers who succeed, all have a desire that they must be what they can be.
So I feel like the old generation is dying off, and
That's true. It always does.
what's going to happen to the young generation when we're not here anymore to show them a better way?
Yeah, well, it's our job while we are here to show them a better way, a better mindset, a better heart set, and a better handset. So I teach to enjoy what you don't like or love. I teach to enjoy what other people don't like or love. I encourage kids to read Think and Grow Rich, to read Viktor Frankl and Man's Search for Meaning. I help kids and empower kids. And this is why I'm so involved in Napoleon Hill, and especially the junior achievement, of understanding the joy in the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your own potential, not what other people think, not what's missing, not what you don't have. There's a huge gap between kids knowing who they are today and who they want people to think they are. And this energy gap is going to create a lot of dis-ease as the generation gets older, and we may actually have to encounter some struggles that they haven't encountered in the past.
But at the end of the day, they have to pay the bills, okay? And they want to be famous, they want to be actor or actresses, they want to go to the top.
Yeah, it is the consistent, persistent pursuit. Things happen very slowly, then all of a sudden, and we cannot attach our emotions to an outcome. I'll be happy when, instead of I am doing this for the sake of what? And in this paradigm shift of I am, what am I doing to interfere with it, becomes a great empowerment to pursue our own potential and to stop looking at what other people think or think that we think.
Right. But how do you put fire in the belly for an individual? You think they have to be born with that, or you think they can develop into it?
I think it's a combination thereof. It's so it's so interesting to me that you have a genetic inheritance, which you and I, coming from where we came from, we have an obvious discipline and empowerment through genetics, but we also have an energetic inheritance, who we surround ourselves with, what people and what ideas we surround ourselves with. And so
I agree.
this genetic inheritance is a basement, but we all have the desire to create a delta. And so if you look at me, for example, if I wanted to be a professional basketball player, my genetic inheritance is so low that even if I had the same desire that LeBron James had, I would never be as good as he is genetically without ever working. And so I think it's really important to understand and align our genetic inheritance with what's doing well, what's stable, what we think is going to do well. But all of us can work on our desire, the delta, to reach our potential.
And unfortunately, there's so much negative energy out there, right?
There is.
That I call it interference.
Me too. I always say, what am I doing to interfere with it? And so to identify through clues, patterns, to make better choices, to shorten the distance of resistance that's created by the interference, we use not only wisdom by asking for help and seeking and accessing information, the wisdom that's necessary to shorten that distance, but faith. So I believe you have to believe in God, a God that has an infinite amount of information and energy. Someone bigger than us that loves us more than our mom.
And I always tell people, listen, if somebody is negative, get rid of it.
Yeah, well, you can't find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. And there's a philosophy of Malama where when you love the earth, it'll love you back. When you love the relationships, they will love you.
Right.
And if your relationships are negative, you're going to have negativity back. And we all are once again, what are we doing to interfere with it?
I always like to be the stupidest man at home.
Me too. So we're in a race, both of us today, because we're in the same room. So I can't learn anything if I'm the smartest one in the room.
No, but that's where when I had my people into my property management, I'm able to point to make sure, like a manager, smarter than me. Otherwise, what kind of value they're going to bring to the table, right?
Absolutely, and understanding our own capability and other people's capability. Remember that capabilities, a weakness moved to a different place is a strength.
Right.
And so utilizing the right people with the right ideas in the right situations can provide an exponential benefit to everything that we do. And it's so important for us to make sure that we're doing and aligning what we're capable of doing and getting other people to do the same for a common purpose or a cause.
When I heard from you, you meet people and they start telling you a problem, okay? And I was telling that individual, listen, 90% of people don't care about your problem. The other 10%, they're happy they have problems.
It's so true. It is so true. But I also tell people that within every problem exists the solution, and actually multiple solutions. And there isn't one right solution to a problem. The difference is that most people are not cognizant of the lapse of time that it takes for human beings within the context of human nature to discover the solutions in a problem. And so as we practice finding the solutions inside the problems faster, that we're spending more of our time at ease with God with us which allows us to have that infinite energy, infinite information. It's funny, at my age, people are like, how do you have so much energy? You travel 200 cities a year. You're doing so much. How do you have that much energy? Well, I'm older. I'm not in as good a shape as I was when I was 25. But what I came to realize is being part of God and being part of a unified, abundant, infinite system of thought that I'm a part of, I just interfere with my energy less because we all have the same amount of energy. It's just who's interfering with that energy the most, who's interfering with the inspiration the most, who's interfering with the intuition the most, who's interfering with the intelligence the most, because it is infinite if you believe and have faith in God.
So you believe there is one big power that oversees us.
Of course, people ask me all the time because I grew up very, my brother's a rabbi. I grew up very Jewish, and they'll say to me, David, do you believe in Jesus? And I have one simple question. Is Jesus bigger than me and loves me more than my mom? And they'll say, absolutely. I said, yeah, why not? I believe in that. That's good. You name him what you want to name him. I'm good with that. But if it's bigger than me and loves me more than my mom, I'm going to live a damn good life. I'm protected, promoted, loved, and perfected. I just don't understand sometimes because sometimes there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where I think I want to be. And I think I'm good. I'm being punished. I lost over $100 million in 2008. I went bankrupt. I lost my mom's house. My mom's, the only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy my mom a house. And at the time, I thought I was being punished by God until my mom told me, oh, my son, you believe in God. You're believing in the wrong God. You're being protected and promoted, loved and perfected by this. And if you learn from this, you are going to receive so much more than you've ever lost.
The problem with my wife is a theory, right? Been married for 35 years. She was like, you know what? Nobody ever came back from the other side. Hindus, Muslim, Arab, Christianity, Jews. No one came back and say, my God is the best.
I don't need my God to be the best. I just need my God to be bigger than me,
Agreed.
love me more than my mom.
How did you overcome that 2008? My opinion is someone that come back even stronger as a champion. Not how much money you have. It's how do you come back? How do you overcome?
Well, wisdom and faith, asking for help, humility was a big part of it. And when I realized that I'm here to learn lessons and the lessons keep on coming until I learn them, and I'm going to forget every lesson ever taught, but I have the power to remember, remind, and recollect with every lesson that's ever been. And that humility of asking for help, I've always been someone that thought you help other people get to where you want to be and you'll get to where you want to be. But what I didn't realize that in a form of faith, in abundance, in believing there's a God of more than enough of everything, that you actually have to be intentional of asking for help. Half of it is finding someone that sits in the situation that you're in and asking them for help so you can pull up a chair next to you and help more people.
I agree. And I know you have many books, right?
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite one?
Connected to Goodness. I wrote a book, Napoleon Hill Foundation helped me write my book, Connected to Goodness. It's a framework of values, behaviors, and an execution model that you can modify and make your own to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun, be happy. And that book to me is the framework and the foundation for all the other books I've written, from Compassionate Capitalism. I wrote a book with Jack Canfield, From Chicken Soup for the Soul, Creating the Life You Love. I wrote a book called Game Times Decision Making. Simon & Schuster is bringing out my new book called Don't Do Business with Dicks, which will be a great book about who you do business with and what the outcomes will be. So my books are there. I give my books away for free. Email me if you're in this community. I'll sign a book. I'll send it to you. I'll pay for the book and shipping. David@dmeltzer.com is my email. Put it in the notes. David, first name, @dmeltzer, like seltzer with an M.com.
Got it. One of the books actually made it to Netflix, right?
Yes.
If I'm not
So
mistaken.
we have Beyond the Secret and Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy. Both are on Netflix. I have TV shows, Go Fund Yourself, Elevator Pitch, 2-Minute Drill, and of course, Office Hours is our biggest show, which has been on Bloomberg, Amazon, and Apple TV, Reach TV. So we are blessed to empower, inspire. So please reach out to me, like I said, and I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Thank you. A few more minutes. I just want to know if you don't mind.
Sure.
Do you give also private one if somebody has?
Yeah, I have a wait list for I do 90% of what I do is free. We have free trainings on almost every day, big trainings on Wednesday and on Friday for free that I do personally. I have a private networking group where Mondays you get one-on-one help from me, but we help each other. Thousands of people are in that group. And then I have a wait list for one-on-one mentorship and coaching, business advisory. And I coach billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. So if anybody's interested in getting on the wait list or joining our group or coming to free training, we have, hundreds of thousands of people registered for the free stuff. So please join me, David at dmeltzer.com.
If you like what you see, please press subscribe on our YouTube channel. It will really help, of course, a lot. Thank you, David, very much.
See you soon. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who will appreciate it. See you again in the next one.